to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number. Thank you for using Blog. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
1 second, guys. I got to make this order. 1 second. All right, folks. Here we go. It's ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. That's what that is. That's just some bullshit right there. That's crazy. All right, people, what's going on? What's going on? Yo, what's up? How y'all doing? What's up, Tim Black's Wolfpack? What's up, peoples of the internets? Brothers and sisters in the house, what's going on? How y'all feeling? Okay. Get some things going here, guys. Sorry about that. We had a little problem. I got it squared away, but you know how it is. It's the internet. So, oh man, we're going to have a good one tonight. We're going to have a good one tonight, y'all. Know this. Know it. Know this. Get it in, Johnson. Get it in. Okay. Getting this all set up. We're doing well. You guys okay? That looks dim as hell. I'm going to go with it, though. I will go with it. It's gotta make that work. Okay. Here we go. Okay. There it is. Okay, we're in the house. I see some of my usual suspects are in the house tonight. Perfect. Some of the usual crews in the place. Boom. We are getting ready to roll. Okay. So, guys, this is Tuesday. Tuesdays are phone line nights. People can dial into the show, so the number's already there. Okay, that's done. I did that part. That part I took care of. Okay. Michael K. Williams, great actor. Amazing actor. Icon. Loved, respected, adored, appreciated, revered, befriended. Was found dead in his apartment in Brooklyn, New York on Monday afternoon from what authorities have said was a possible drug overdose. He was 54 years old. Now, they say the cause and the manner of his death were not determined, according to the New York Medical Examiner. But there has been speculation that there were drugs in his penthouse on the coffee table, not far from where he had collapsed. And considering the fact that, so we got drugs in the apartment, and Michael K. Williams is also very open about his history with drug use. Never shied away from that, always is upfront about that. I've read where he said that he felt his life had been spared, and that he was lucky to be alive. And also coupled that with, which I didn't know until now, he had a drug problem while he was filming The Wire. The only reason why they did not fire Michael K. Williams is because, one, he was an integral part of the show, was there for all 5 seasons, but also because they thought he would really spin out if he were to lose this opportunity. Michael K. Williams, I just couldn't believe it. When I got the word that Michael K. Williams had died, hey, it hit me pretty hard. Actually, I had unplugged from the internet for some time, spent some time with the family, and got a message from a colleague. And actually, they had been trying to contact me, or they contacted me hours earlier. So I got the message, but I didn't open it. I said, okay, I'm just chilling, and I'll, get back to stuff later. So yesterday evening around 7 or 8 o'clock, something like that, is where I actually became aware of what happened. We got to legalize drugs. That's the only thing you can do, Johnson. We have to legalize drugs so that we can regulate drugs, so that we'll know what's in drugs, so that people that have drug addictions can at the very least get drugs that aren't tainted with fentanyl. And people say that fentanyl was what was laced. Now, this is speculation. I don't know if they've confirmed this. Be a little quick to do the analysis on the substances that were found in the apartment. But we know people are assuming, I guess, based on information of other drug overdoses that happened recently. There was a famous comedian, a very well-loved, appreciated comedian that recently passed away from some type of drugs that were laced with fentanyl. We know that fentanyl is a synthetic form of, form of heroin. And they're always made in these clandestine labs. Anybody can make up these labs and put stuff in there, and it's also they put stuff in the drugs to try to make the drugs stretch, and all types of other things are done in order to make money. So what we have to do is we have to legalize drugs so that we can save lives. So we got to end this failed, stupid, racist-ass drug war on us. It was never on anyone else but us. Black people and poor people, hippies. We still got hippies. I thought we did. Not sure anymore. We still got black people. At least I think we do. We still got black people. Not sure we do. Who was it? Chris Rock said, black people are not an endangered species because if they were, they'd be protected by the government. And we are not. Michael K. Williams, it's a damn shame, Johnson. I feel that way whenever I hear the deaths of someone drug overdose. I always feel that way, but this brother was so talented, so much promise. Of course, your own mortality, you hear the breath of your own mortality breathe on your neck, and it gives an uneasy feeling to all of us, those who are approaching that age. Hopefully, if I'm fortunate to be the age that Michael K. Williams is. We got to legalize this shit, man. We really do. And what's really the reason for not legalizing it? Because we lose so many people to drug overdoses from situations like this. What's the real rationale? Oh, they're going to stop using drugs. Oh, okay. That's what it is. I also heard some really stupid commentary. Look, guys, I know there are things things that we disagree about all the time. That's going to happen. But I heard some people saying, like, why use drugs? I don't know, motherfucker. Why eat Big Macs? I don't know, man. It's some really dumb commentary out there. I mean, really simple-minded, one-dimensional, ignorant-ass commentary out there. I don't know where these people come from, man. Like, if anyone knew that the drugs they were taking could kill them, if they really knew that and they thought about that for a second, they really thought about it, be like, nah, I'm good. Unless you're envisioning some actual movie scenario where no one cares. You're thinking about the deer hunter when they put the gun up to the temple, Christopher Walken put the gun up to his temple with that scene with Robert De Niro and blew his brains out. Like, that's different. What you're talking about. You're talking about Russian roulette. See, people trust whatever they have. They're not even thinking about it. They're thinking about having fun or doing whatever they're doing or whatever's going on in their life. They're not thinking this going to kill me. From Mac Miller to DMX to Michael K. Williams. There's so many others. I'm picturing people now. I can't remember all their names. What's the sister? It was a great singer, white young lady. Amazing voice. Winehouse, Amy Winehouse. There's so many people. Maybe we could just keep going there. The actor, the guy, the guy who played Batman, and the guy who played Philip Seymour Hoffman as well. I mean, you really think these people were like, yeah, I don't want to live anymore, let me risk it all today? Like, no. So look, what we need to do is legalize all drugs, not so you can go become a drug user, so that the people that are currently drug users, as they hopefully make other choices, or are able to get in programs, or even if they do continue this lifestyle, they don't have to die for it. They should not have to die for it. You don't die for your milkshake, at least not right away. You don't die for your Chipotle, at least not right away. That's where we want to be. That's what I'm talking about. If all you have to add to the discourse is people shouldn't do drugs, you should shut all the way up. Just shut your ass up. Because that's not really adding to the discourse. People pay these people to talk. Paid to talk. God damn, man. Yeah, people should, it's a real shame when people drown. It's drowned at the beach. It's horrible. They drowned at the beach. Motherfucker, they didn't go to the beach to drown. It was an accident. I know that these things are different, but what I'm saying is, any person who has an accident did not intend to have the fucking accident. That's why it's called an accident. If not, it's called suicide. And suicide is not an accident. All right, guys. Phone lines are open, but I've been pleading with people. I've been saying it over and over again. We gotta stop. We gotta stop talking. Yeah, we gotta stop talking. Oh, man, we talk too fucking much. The internet lets us all talk. I'm talking now. This is the problem. The mouth is moving. Now, hopefully, what I'm talking about has some level of measure of merit. There he goes. Some level of merit. Like, I have a reason to talk, or I have an important point to make, or I am speaking for a demographic. I resonate with that demographic. I know who I'm talking to. There's an importance to this. I hope so. That's the goal, Johnson. That's what we strive for. This is the problem. Too many of us get to talk. We should not be given microphones, and then especially those who claim to be talking for other people. Now, here's the rule, guys. And I know I got a penance to pay. People have been on my ass for a couple of months, okay? Not literally, figuratively, okay? Figuratively. You don't speak for black people if there's no black people fucking listening to you. I should not have to say that. I mean, that should be like, and I don't want to compare groups, but fuck it, I'm going to compare groups. Imagine someone speaking for the lesbian community without being a lesbian. Or no lesbians watching their fucking programs. You got a room full of straight people and 5 lesbians, and you're going, I speak for the lesbians. Now, even if you were a lesbian, the fact that there are no lesbians there to vouch for you that are saying, yeah, she speaks for us, please keep speaking, that should mean something. That should mean something. Oh, Tim's unhinged. That's because I'm angry. Aren't you angry about things? Aren't you pissed off? This is the point, folks. There are people right now who said they're speaking for black people, but when you look into their comment sections, when you look into their followings, they got like 6 black people following them. And white people are so... Now, they're white people. They're not my white people. My white people, I got great white people. That sounds bad like Trump, didn't it? Oh, it's my African American, my African American. I mean it fondly. I mean it realistically. The white folks that watch this show, the Tim Black show, they're more racially tuned or attuned than most because they voluntarily listen to a black man yell about shit every day, or at least 4 times a week. Okay, and who does not say certain things to them and then go to his black audience or some other black corner of the internet, black Twitter, for instance, and then talk real with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that shit. So what I'm saying, guys, is there are these people that are speaking for us, 2 white people, and the white people that they are speaking to don't give a fuck that they look around and there's no blacks in the room. They just go, keep talking. We love it when you talk like that. They don't care that what's being said holds no water for black people. I know a lot of blacks. I know a lot of black people raised by them, married to one, live around them, work with them, raise some. And I've never heard black people say, hey, let's work with Nazis. Yeah, the people that think we're subhuman, that think we should be annihilated from Earth, who think that we are beneath them, that if anything, we serve as places to deposit body fluids or chum for the animals in the fucking water, or should be slaves. I have never, ever fucking heard, ever. You know what? I don't like the fact that some people have this thing in their head. I don't care how much school you got. I don't care who you was around. I had some school. I've been around people. I've never heard it ever been a conversation, ever, not even one fucking time, man. Not once have I heard black people sitting around playing fucking spades going, you know what we should do? We should go down and try to convert some Nazis. Yeah, put your beer down, man. Yo, Dewan, put your beer down. You too, Keisha. Come on now, put the beer down, yo. Yo, for real, dog. Here's out. Let's stop what we fucking doing, man. Let's go down to some area where a bunch of fucking Nazis are. Let's go talk to them. Yeah, see if we can explain to them why we're human beings and how we can work together. I've never fucking heard that. But you know where I keep fucking hearing it? You know where it's on constant repeats? You know where it's constantly rotated? It's in rotation. You would think people are calling up, requesting that jam. Hello, hi. Yeah, you're listening to KCK-SUB-G. Yes, you're listening to LBG Media Radio Show. Ha ha. Listen to the Taj on the morning show. Hey, Tom, could you play that song? You know that song? Yeah, go ahead. What song, brother? What song? You know that song about talking to Nazis? Oh, yeah, we got it queued up. We've been playing that every hour on the hour. Everybody's calling for that, brother. All right, blood. I'll see you later. Catch you on the flip side. Yeah, Wolfman Jack. Wolfman Jack said, we got song with soul. We got that neo-Nazi song where the blacks talk to the neo-Nazis and get the neo-Nazis to vote for their policies. Yeah, baby. Let's play that one more time. Your brother, Wolfman Jack. Rawr. I ain't never heard that shit ever in life, man. You know why I haven't heard it? Because only these people on the internet with 95% white followers from the planet's libertarian regurgitated. No black. Now, we got some weird off-brand motherfuckers. Yo. Too much talking, too much thinking, too much mental gymnastics, too much of cerebral massaging, and living in a fucking bubble. Man, we wondering about, look, this is what black people are talking about. We talking about reparations. We talk about jobs, schools. That's what we talk about. It is so infuriating. It is. To have these people. I'd like to know what's the difference between cable news propping up Don Lemon and Joy Reid, like they speak for me. What's different about that and you propping up Brianna Joy Gray or I don't know, pick a motherfucker as if she speaks for us? Like, I'm still in penance mode. Do you realize the penance I've been having to pay with black folks because I associated with these motherfuckers for so long? Like, they don't want to hear, look, dog, I know it looks bad. Check this out. I actually thought we could actually get some policies for black people. I know, look, man, look, dog, I'm sorry, man. That's me every fucking day. They're like, but you was with these motherfuckers. This bitch just up there. I put that back. I don't know what else to do, man. You know, sometimes there's people that just want to believe what they want to believe. No amount of convincing will get us to this point. Will make the truth seep in. No one wants to work with fucking Nazis. No one. Not only that, if someone wants to punch a Nazi, I got the talcum powder so they can talcum up their hand when they smack that motherfucker. See, this a fallacy that if we're not nice to Nazis, they stay Nazis. It's dumb shit. Me not being nice to them did not make them Nazis to begin with. They were Nazis all on their fucking own. They were Klan members all on their fucking own. I'm so fucking tired of hearing people talk about Daryl Davis. Now, you know, the guy who talks to the fishes like Aquaman or some shit. Oh, and also, when he talks to Klan members, and he convinces them that black people are not mud people or something, and they give him a robe. I wonder what he gives them. Now, I'm not totally convinced that Daryl Davis is not a sellout. Like, after all these years of talking to these white guys, what's he saying to them? Hey, man, you know, I know how us blacks are. No, man, hold on. Listen, I know what you're thinking. I hate them too. They get on my nerves too. Black people, man, they're so annoying. With their afro sheen and their cocoa butter. Listen. I'm tired of them too. But getting rid of us ain't gonna change the problem. The problem is, you just need to give me one of these robes and I'll cook you dinner. I mean, what is he saying to him? And who has time? Who has time to talk to a human being, to a person over and over and over and over and over again to convince them that these people who are minding their own fucking business are somehow, he should respect these, like, it's just like, it's pointless. So right now, there's a lot of conversation going on about this. And I just want to make it clear, guys. You ain't gotta like me, but you ain't gotta lie to me or to us, okay? We ain't here for the nonsense. We want you to cut the fucking check. Cut the check, cut the check. Say it with me. Cut the check. Cut the check. That's what black people want. They don't want you to take a list of universal programs and put black agenda at the top. We don't want you to set us up on a play date with KKK or neo-Nazis and none of that shit. What we want you to do is be an advocate for black people. Because we are dying and we are going the way of the dodo bird. We do not have time for your charades. I know it's very good for your bottom line. I know it's very lucrative. And there are people that love to hear you say this dumb shit, but it must stop. It must stop, Johnson. It must stop. And those who promote it, I want you to know how offensive this shit is, right? I want you to realize that you tune into Doc. I don't know how my Tuesdays are going to go, but I know how my Fridays are. My Fridays, when my callers are 55, 60% black, something like that, that's more people than I ever hear or see in their comment sections all fucking week, okay? You are not a voice box, a speaker to for or advocate for the black community if ain't no black people showing up at your rallies, if they ain't showing up in your comment section, if they ain't showing up on your subscriptions, if they ain't showing up in your life, if you ain't doing shit where black people show the fuck up, then you are not leading black people. What you are doing is being a mouthpiece for black people, for white people, and carrying the message that white people want you to carry. That's what you are doing. Now, once I realized that I was doing all these things, and there was not going to be a victory for black people behind it, I got out of it. Once I realized that these people who I was surrounding myself with, they had no interest in a black agenda, and they weren't bullshitting. Like, I used to think, this is no bullshit, this is bad. Now, I'm not proud of this. I used to think that Bernie Sanders really supported black issues. He just didn't want to say it because he wanted to get elected. And then he was going to be like a covert, like he was going to switch it on him. Yeah, that's what I thought. He was going to switch it on him. Now, there are people that worked for Bernie and was around Bernie that I knew, and none of them told me, nah, man, for real, Bernie don't give a fuck about black issues like that. Nah, man, he just don't, man. That's not his ideology. No one told us that. No one told me that. If I would have known that, that would have changed my outlook dramatically. Dramatically, it would have changed my outlook. And it would have changed things I did. Now, I know that people are going to tell me, you should have known that shit, man. You couldn't tell? I literally thought a guy who was for all these policies had the most robust criminal justice reform package in 2020, not in 2016. But I actually bought the chain to a black woman fighting segregation. I actually bought into that. I believed in it. But if I'd have known that his ideology, and that's what I'm being told now, and what I've been told for the last year or so, was not pro-support of black people getting an agenda or reparations, that would change everything. And that it was not a covert action, it was not a strategy to feign this, but they weren't feigning not to support it in order to beat out Hillary. Really maybe what he thought. It was what he thought. Like, he really was not into that. He really is on this class shit. That's a big deal. So that's the other thing. So if you knew these things about Bernie and you were part of the inner circle, you could have told a brother. That's all. Hey, rookie mistake. Hey, Okay? I get it. You were busy. You were busy. Last thing. Stop talking about how bold you are if you ain't risking nothing. Stop talking about how bold you are. Stop telling us how you a fighter. Stop telling us about revolution. If you ain't willing to risk anything, what the fuck good are you? Yeah. Yeah, you know, people that risk nothing got nothing to say. They should have nothing to say. If you're not risking anything, don't say anything. Now, I'm not talking to the average viewer, though it would be nice if you did take a risk as well. I'm not taking that off the table. But I'm talking about these people that are leaders and commentators and news people and journalists. They don't risk anything. If you're not risking anything, if you're not risking a salary, if you're not risking your pension, if you're not risking your job or your career, if you're not risking upward mobility, if you're not risking something, then what are you talking about? You know, I respect the person that takes risks, that risks losing something for what they believe in. What are these motherfuckers risking? No, they're the opposite. They're not risking anything. What are they risking? They're not risking anything. Calling out the left, like I have been doing, for obvious grifting and obvious bullshit like this, that's a risk when you were on the left. I did that with no parachute, man. Now, luckily, I got a support system, but you know, everybody didn't stick around. How did I not know more people didn't just choose to run or leave or were offended? I took a risk, but I said, this is what I have to do because these people are not listening. These people are truly willing to allow black people to continue to struggle, not have shit in this country, generally speaking. And they're fine with it. And if I'm not going to say anything, then I become complacent. Or complicit. Complicit. That's it. You're part of the problem. So, look, guys, I hope that this makes sense. Hope you see the through line. But some people are losing their goddamn thread. Real talk. I don't want to hear any more shit. I know I can't tell people this. I can't make people stop. I can tell you to stop. I can't make them stop. Stop bringing up the one black guy that talks to fucking Klan members as if that's a prescription. Like that's actually an action item for the rest of us. Now, most of us are not running out talking, trying to even ever considered trying to sway individual Klan members not to be Klan members. That's some dumb shit. What we're trying to do is get fucking politicians to create black agendas because we've been fucked in the Green New Deal. Well, the New Deal, the Fair Deal. We got screwed in those. So what we're trying to do is get advocates to support us, not getting screwed in future legislation. That's what we're trying to do. That's all. We ain't trying to save the whales, motherfucker. We're not trying to save a bunch of racists from being racist. What we want to do is have tougher laws on those motherfuckers to lock them up like they do us. Lock their asses up and throw away the fucking key. Our job is not to reform your fucked up cousin Jethro or Cody or Elaine or whatever fuck her name is, Karen or whatever her fucking name is. That's not our goal as a collective people. If I did a survey of black middle class and lower middle class black folks in Washington, D.C. or Prince George's County, Maryland, and asked them what was more important, reforming individual Klan members in fucking Mississippi or Louisiana or Arkansas or some shit, or getting reparations or a black agenda that directly impact the black people, I wonder which one they pick and where they say our fucking energy should be spent. And in a just world, the person advocating for kissing the ass or being nice or whatever, the kumbaya with fucking whatever, that person would have a price to pay publicly for that stupid shit. They'd be shunned as a human being in the black community. But the reason they're not shunned is because they're not in the black community to begin with. That's what that is. You know how grossly unpopular that shit is? Hey, trying to convert Klan members is less popular among black people than reparations for black people is with white people. But you wouldn't know that from all my highly intelligent, intellectual, well-learned, word salad dispensing, propped up, fake progressive motherfuckers. Hey, look, man. I'm going to save the rest for tomorrow's pause with Tim Black, because that's really what this is for. But, yo, you just pulled it out of me. You make me say these things. Because this is undeniably some bullshit. I don't know what planet this shit is from. But it's not a planet that we live on. Not the rest of us. That shit is so far down the fucking... I'm not saying there aren't any black people that give a fuck about this, but if you had to list the 20 top things, they would add this as number 21 and staple it to the back of the list as an alternate. Well, if you couldn't do number 18 or 19, you could replace that. Makes me feel like a good person. That's what that would do. I'm not even convinced there are enough of these Klan members that you're trying to convert to actually change anything politically for us. Instead of going down to the local barbershop and talking to black men with Timberlands on, chewing on one of those bark sticks or whatever the fuck with dreads or whatever. I'm sorry, twists, locks. Or going into a black hairstyle dresser in the hood, right? You know what I'm saying? And talking to them. They want to go talk to some hillbilly motherfuckers or some racists somewhere in their minds. Where do you even find these people to go talk to them? Where are you doing the conversion ceremonies at? Where the fuck is this happening? Why are we talking about this? I can't get you motherfuckers to give a hit to door knock in black neighborhoods. Not really. You know what I'm saying? Say this. Here I gotta say. Reparations. Also, I hear tell, by way of Michael Graham and Samantha, the Khaleesi, Reset Race Podcast, I hear tell that rumor has it that Movement for a People's Party may be moving to reparations on their platform. Yeah, I heard that Movement for a People's Party might be adding reparations to their platform. Wow, I wonder where they got that idea. Shit, sounds like Tim Black helped force the vote. Actually, who knows? They say there's a black coalition trying to push it from within the party, and somebody from and of course, Reset Racing, and Reset Racing, Tim Black have been forced. So movement for a white people's party doesn't want to be quite as white. They might want to actually try to win and get some energy. But, John C., Joe. So let's see what happens. I just tell you, man, it's amazing, man. Is anybody going to say, hey, Tim, you had a good point with the reparations thing, with the Movement for a People's Party? I mean, if you're going to create a party, how about having black shit in it? I don't know, because you want black people to join it. Fuck the status quo. That's the whole point. Why go with some unknown party if they don't even have the guts to put agendas on it that you give a fuck about? They're being pragmatic. We won't be able to get enough of these people in the demographics. Curry the one, dot the T, and curry the put the dot the thing, and add the one and put the zero and divide by the root. Fuck that. Do what's right. Do what's right. So I heard that's happening. I just thought it was interesting. Look, I heard there's a rumor that it's happening. I don't know if it's happening. Because evidently, what I say means shit. It's not even worth the response. I wouldn't even dignify Tim Black's ranting and raving with his black baboon ass. I won't even dignify that with a response. Because I'm so in tune with the blacks. I'm so black. What I'm really trying to say is not really trying to say that. And I've been hearing these things, and I've heard what I've been hearing. We're going to get this going or what, guys? So that's going to be interesting. It really is. Last bit of business, guys. Tuesdays and Fridays are calling days. You already know that. That's never going to change. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are pause shows. Due to the fact that people really love the call-in nights. I need to get to the call-in night now. I need to do that. We're about to go to phone lines now. 2 minutes. We're going to make some changes with our scheduling. So be on the lookout for that. If you're a Patreon member, I want to thank my Patreon members, people that support the show, whether it's on Patreon or YouTube or Facebook. I want to encourage you to continue to do so. And, I got to give a big shout out to my people who have been supporting via GoFundMe. So once you know, thank you so much for supporting this show. I know you don't have to. And I know times are tough. And I'm amazed at the support the show gets, considering the bad press I've been getting lately. But I thank you for that support, and I continue to try to make this show better and add elements that make it a more valuable asset to all of us. So give it up for that. Thank you. Well, that's really all I got, guys. Let's go ahead and go to phone lines. Let's be in tune. Stay connected because we're going to have information about the scheduling. Tuesdays and Fridays will not change. But I am looking to make some changes because I gotta have time to. I gotta have time to do some other things. Like I gotta write. I've made a commitment to writing more and reading more. Gotta write more. Gotta read more. Gotta have time to do that. So, so I'm doing some things. All right, let's go to phone calls. Let's do this while we're still young. All right, 973, you're live on TB Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
Hey.
You hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? This Najee from New Jersey. You know what, man? You right on with that as far as like trying to appeal to the softer side of the Klan, and that's been the con that has been ran on us when we talk about racism, because they focus on white extremists. But they don't. But our biggest problem has always been the racism in the judicial system, like with the Ahmaud Arbery case, where you have prosecutors that don't want to prosecute murderers. You white racist murderers. You know what I mean? That's our problem. Law enforcement that during Hurricane Katrina allowed white armed men, maybe women, to come into Louisiana, not with food, not with goods, not with boats. They came armed, not to assist the black citizens of Louisiana, but to basically block the roads and basically, left these people to starve and drown. You know what I mean? That's what we're dealing with. When we talk about racism, we're even talking about racist policies that can be held up by black politicians. Like right now, during the housing crisis, I fortunately, I fell into some hard times, a layoff in my household, and I was laid off, and we remodified our home, bought the condo for $250,000. We started out with one banking institution. During the economic crisis, that banking institution went under, and it was gobbled up by Bank of America. Now, Bank of America was handling our mortgage. So Barack Obama, during that time, basically forced these banks to help the homeowners. So, fast forward, trying to sell a condo, bought the mortgage for $250,000. When I look on my Bank of America app, it says that we owe $181,000. But when I go on my credit report, it's saying that we still owe $230,000. We've been in this condo for 15 years. So now I'm selling. But that's the relief that came to the homeowners during the Obama administration. Also, we're also dealing with the racism that's in the media. Where you had and I remember this vividly, Rachel Maddow was on air repeating lies and never went back and retracted when they said that they were down in New Orleans raping babies. Never went on the air and apologized for that. Never. The media. We're dealing with racism in the media that allows while at the same time we're promoting stop Asian hate, but you allow the Asian collective to openly attack affirmative action. To basically attack the intelligence of black people. So anytime you see somebody black on a campus, you just assume that they're not there because of their work ethic. Clearly, they got to be there because of affirmative action. Yeah. So you have a population who foundationally built this country, but you have an immigrant class able to come into the country and challenge laws that was supposed to reverse and correct the trauma and the terrorism, economically and physically, that we went through. And the media doesn't call this out. So that's the racism that we're talking about. And who's going to be most affected when it comes to these natural disasters? Out here in New Jersey, I know the focus is on New Orleans, but it looked like I Am Legend, abandoned cars all over the place. I've never seen rain fall like it rained in New Jersey, in New York, in the tri-state area. The next day, cars was just abandoned on the highway. Tens of cars just piled up on the highway, abandoned. Hit by these flash floods. And I'm new to this. I didn't even know what a flash flood was. And on my way from work, I was in the middle of it. And I really, had to hold on to my steering wheel and pray that I was going to make it home, because the rainfall and the flooding was that intense and that serious. And I predict that it's only going to get worse. And you know who's going to be most affected because of economic disparities and the imbalance of the money that the money in this country? It's going to be Black Americans, So when we talk about racism, this is what we're talking about. Just like right now, Joe Biden has allocated basically relief flood money to certain counties in New Jersey. He excluded Essex. He excluded Union County. You know what I mean? These are counties that are diverse, large percentage of Black Americans. So right now, Governor Murphy is pushing to get Biden to tell FEMA to, allocate more resources to these other counties. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't just these, Somerset County, Bergen County, these wealthy counties that was affected by Hurricane Ida, I think it's called.
Yes.
It was the whole state of New Jersey.
It's great.
So that's what we're dealing with, and that's what we're talking about when we talk about racism. In the con game, that racism is just this toothless, redneck white person somewhere in Mississippi is wrong. It's the Harvard professor. It's the Harvard dean. It's the senator. It's the prosecutor. It's the teacher. That's what we're facing. That's when we talk about, because when we say institutional racism, see, we don't put a face and a name on it. It's time that we start calling it by name and who these people are.
I got to leave it there, Najee. I got to leave it there, brother, but I appreciate your comment. And I just like to add to this comment because I think, especially the end, man, you brought it home all the way home, brother. And we don't put a name to it or a face, because white supremacy, institutional racism, anyone can practice that. And anyone can be a conduit of it. You said some Harvard professors. So could some Harvard lawyers. So could some independent media people. So could some journalists. Yeah, it's easy to make it, brother out in Georgia, like one of my callers up in Georgia called in on Friday, memorable call, on point like hell. Easy to say it's him. We need to convert him, or we need to save him. He need to be doing some saving. He need to want to talk to these, But that's not the problem. That's a distraction. I'm going to go to the next call, Najee, but I appreciate you, fam. 908, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Mr. Tim Black, it's JT from New Jersey. That other New Jersey brother was on point. And I am so sick of this institutional racism. And I'm also so sick of these lambs, these stupid people that just, they pretend like it's okay. They're just like, oh, well, there's probably some reason why that black person got shot or whatever, got pulled over. I'm sure they were doing something. No, motherfucker. It's the racism in the system, don't be helping them at all with that bullshit. You better just come forward and just realize what the fuck is going on here and also cut the motherfucking check. Thank you, Mr. Pindock, and you have a good night.
You too, JT. I appreciate that. And you know what? At least I know some people got this. You know what I mean? That's what's so great about this phone call, man. These phone calls, having phone lines open, because you hear what people are thinking. And that's what people say, right? Oh, well, must be something going. They don't want to accept that it's as bad as it is. I want you to know it's worse than you can imagine. It really is. What's going on with this system? Horrible. America allows for us to be at the bottom just so it can continue to make white people be at the bottom, to add white people to that layer just above it. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the effects of it. Okay? And I'm gonna go to the next call. Yeah. 213. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, it's the Khaleesi. It's Sam. How you doing?
Hey, Sam. What's happening?
Today was a fun day. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to start real quick. So I heard the gentleman, and he was talking about the thing with his house and Obama with the housing crisis. So, you know, I love books. Aaron Glantz, Homewreckers, How a Gang Full of Wall Street Kingpins, Hedge Fund Magnates, Crooked Banks, and Vulture Capitalists suckered millions out of their homes and demolished the American dream. Aaron Glantz. Definitely read the book. And for those of y'all who don't have time, Google the Democracy Now! Interview. He really lays that out. I don't want to get super into it because, you know, Bree. So we've been complaining about Bree for a whole year. Bree called my bluff. For those of y'all who listen to Reset Race, I say this all the time. I want you to say what you say to Black people to a Jewish person to their face where it can be recorded. There it is. The fact that she tried to pull well, I'm a Black woman, so why should you be more outraged than me? This is why. So I had a person before be like, well, nobody said Brianna Greyjoy speaks for Black people. She keeps talking about how as a Black woman, she says this. That is her saying that she speaks for Black people. She's not saying, well, me, Brianna Greyjoy, as a leftist. She's saying me as a Black woman. She's trying to say like she speaks for Black people, and we not rocking with her. So I'm glad that she is getting drugs. I hope some other Jewish organizations come out and drag her some more because she needs to learn a lesson. So that's all I wanted to say.
Khalid Sam. Give it up for Sam.
Tim, you know I'm petty, so you know I had to dig back up that marathon video. so you know I'm gonna give it to Bree one more time. So y'all have a good night. Thank you for letting me call in, Tim, and thank you for doing what you do. We rocking with you,
man. Thank you, Sam. Shit, keep doing what you doing, sister. She killing it. Sam is killing it over there. Okay. 2 things, y'all. My bad. 2 things, Sam. Aaron Glantz, I actually had him on the show, and I actually have the book, and he ran down how Obama, how they fleeced us for multiple millions of dollars out of Black neighborhoods, out of community at large. And amazing, and I'm so glad you brought that up. My bad. The other thing is, guys, some people don't have the context of what I was talking about earlier. I didn't want to play the clip, but maybe I can get away with it because it was on Twitter. If it's on Twitter, if you put it on Twitter, I don't know how I got to Twitter, but I got this off Twitter. So what Bree was talking about was what Sam was talking about was Bree's comment referencing her interview with a Antifa author. Let me play the clip. Here's what she said to her Jewish guest, what she said, remarking about her guest who was Jewish, where she told the guest, she was trying to tell the guest we need to work with the Nazis. Like, we don't need to punch them, we need to work with them. Something like that. So here goes that clip.
It's frustrating because I do think that I was holding back, frankly, from saying some things that I do believe, which is that I do think that some of the way that white people approach race and some Black people is frustrating because I do think that I was holding back, frankly, from saying some things that I do believe, which is that I do think that some of the way that white people approach race and some Black people, frankly, a lot of affluent Black people, is performative. I think that some of the anger, like there is no reason why someone like Talia should be more angry at a Nazi than me. And so the certain degree of it, to me, and maybe this isn't fair, comes off as self-righteousness. Like you don't get to be madder at racists than me. Now, if you are more angry than I am, that has to do with your personality, your own cognitive makeup, and you are entitled to that anger, right? But you have to understand that that's an individual. You are an individual operating as an individual, but you can't generalize about what we should do as a community based off of your personal predilections. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And so you are individually entitled.
That's right. So you shouldn't be able to feel the way you feel, even if you feel that way. But just that you know that because I'm black, I should be able to feel this way, and you shouldn't be able to feel the way you feel. It doesn't bother me. Nazis don't get me that upset. Why should they get you upset? And yeah, but you can feel that way because you have a right to feel that way, but you shouldn't feel that way because I'm Bree and I'm black. See, got my hair did. See how black I am. And no, don't tell me I took it out of context either. They used a 10-second clip of me and applied it to something that wasn't even about. And misconstrued the shit out of it. That was a minute clip. Not a 10-second clip. Where I said when she was talking to Obama and shit. Or she was really referring to this person named T who plays for the Dixie Chicks. No, that's what they did to my shit. They took my comments and applied it to some other place. So, nah, that's your bed. You made your bed. Now lay in it. All right, I'm going to go next call. 301, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black. You know who it is. It's your number one boy from Northeast Washington, D.C., Kendall. What's up, man?
Kendall, what's happening, baby? What's on your mind?
Okay, let's get right to it. Basically, I want to, there's a very famous, you said the DMV, the Huggy Lowdown. I know you know about the Huggy Lowdown.
Hell yeah, I know about Huggy.
You kind of giving us the Huggy Lowdown. Yeah, you giving us the Huggy Lowdown on the left, and I really appreciate that, because, the Bama of the week is definitely Brianna Joy Gray. Let's go in on this one right here. The big Bama of the week. Big. And I'm going to just draw out why.
Sorry.
Because, I gotta do what I gotta do. But let me just shout out the Amy Jacques Garvey Institute. Let me shout out Anthony Lorenzo Green, the People's Champion from Deanwood. Let me shout out April Goggins from DC, like Black Lives Matter, Empower DC, and the Black Swan Society, another organization doing great things here in Washington, DC. So, Tim, Brianna, so let's talk about it. First of all, she's a total grift. She's making $40K off of this podcast, this Bad Faith thing. But, her co-host, Virgil Texas, is wasn't he trying to, y'all need to go Google him, y'all, Virgil Texas. He hasn't been on her podcast for a few months now. And apparently he's wanted for some type of underage girl, very nefarious things going on. Has the FBI spoken to him? I want to know, Tim, what did Brianna Joy Gray know and when did she know it? I mean that sincerely. What did Brianna Joy Gray know and when did she know it? Let's hold her accountable because she likes to hold folk accountable. We're going to hold her accountable. What does she know about Virgil Texas and his grooming a underage girl for all this, Brianna, you messy. Also, I want to give a shout out to Cyber Demon 531 on the YouTube. She does a good takedown on Brianna Joy Gray. So I know all y'all out there in the Wolfpack, go ahead and Google that and check that out. Because, she's going to go ahead and go in on Bree. Now, Bree is, again, she's making all this money off this $40K a month off this grift. And she's always talking about how we want to keep folk accountable. But who keeping you accountable, Bree? What did you know about this thing? Why are you always trying to push people towards anti-black politics and being an apologist for white supremacy? Because this thing about this sister, this Jewish sister she had on her show, it's actually a big deal. When y'all go look at Cyber Demon 531 takedown, it actually go in on how she really fucked up. But it's not just Bree. It's a whole other racist on the left. I call them the alt left. It's Crystal Ball, who was like 150K grift she did off of some type of super PAC. And they talked about it, how, she was, questions was called about her management of the super PAC. And it was very, the receipts came back, and it basically came back that, she was grifting on that like 150K. She was paying herself, all types of crazy shit. Then you got Kyle, racist ass Kyle, KKK Kyle, who cares about his own money, never took a moral stand in his life, only cares about his own check. All these leftists are grifting off this check. They have no moral compass when it comes to black issues, and I'm sick of it. Then you got Jimmy Dore, who also shout out Stateless Patriot on the YouTube, has a 2-hour takedown on Jimmy Dore. Stateless Patriot. Go ahead and check that out. It's like a 2-hour joint, y'all. Y'all could get the popcorn for that one, okay? Get the popcorn for that one. That's a good 2-hour joint to check out how Jimmy Dore is basically just lying his whole mission. I think he's a Russian agent, God damn it. You damn right. I think he's a Russian agent trying to penetrate the left and the alt-left. There's no difference between force of vote and QAnon. I was for force of vote. But when you're still talking about shit 9-10 months later, and the way how he was screaming at AOC, and you never scream at Donald Trump, Jimmy. What the fuck is wrong with you? You turn all your attention to all of our people who are on our side. So all y'all go over there. So that's what I'm saying. So, all these folks out here, the doorknobs, the Vanguard, all those folks who just, it's just the come up, it's just money. That's the problem with these leftists. They just talk about class reductionist issues, and I'm sick of it because they have no type of context for what real life is out there on Southeast Washington, D.C., trying to get a 5-piece chicken wing and mumble sauce. Come on, somebody, behind the bulletproof glass.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't live that life. They don't know nothing about that. Now, I do believe in voting and electoralism. This is why I don't like Bree and Jimmy and all them, because y'all need to vote for these prosecutors who are helping, these progressive prosecutors who are really helping folks trying to free us from the prisons. This goes back to the Civil War when the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, when they still have slavery in America today. If you are incarcerated. Today in America, this is a real challenge. I mean, we talked about Kamala when she was she used prison labor with her tenure as the AG out there. So I'm just saying, if you're going to talk about that, why can't you talk about, and we've criticized Kamala, but my point is that, y'all don't never say anything good to the squad or Bernie or anybody when they wasn't even pumping for Nina. So don't even get me started. They wasn't pumping for the right people to get us to have, so the left can have electoral power. There has to be a point to all this. It can't just be talking on the YouTube and getting likes, clicks, and shares. And Bree making $40,000 a month to talk her shit. That's why I don't respect her. I'm out here in the streets working with folk out here, in the trenches, doing real organizing, real block by block trench work. And this bitch is on YouTube just talking smack and discouraging our folks to take electoralism seriously and have a sophisticated attitude towards politics. This is not a bunch of hip-hop beefs back and forth. This is about real lives to be saved and real black pain that is experienced right here in the United States of America. Let me say this real quick. My favorite TV show, because I know this is good. Remember the Jeffersons? I love George Jefferson. Jefferson's what people talk about the Cosby Show, but I like George Jefferson. George Jefferson owned his own business. He really invokes my type of politics. You know what I mean? He was just unrelentless in talking about the man and how the man has always tried to, thwart him in terms of his running his business with Weezy. And I'll call back another day. We could do a deep dive on the Jeffersons because I'm a Jefferson super fan. But my point is that they had all these issues, and it wasn't about fucking class. It was about race. It was about the fact that in the original episode, I believe our sister Marla Maples, played the maid, and I remember that episode very well because George was hiring a maid, and I think Weezy was looking for a maid, and they Florence was like the second or third maid they tried out, and she says at the end, maybe we overcame and no one told me. So all throughout our popular culture, we are dealing with the reality of racism, whether it be in health, whether it be in housing, whether it be in our education system and all that. And as an educated brother, I just want to dunk on Kyle because he's just an unsophisticated white man. We've all have brothers who have degrees, advanced degrees. We've seen these white folk in our workplace, these inadequate white men who always get promoted. Kyle's not that smart. He ain't smart. Let's put it like this. Kyle is dumber than Crystal, and Crystal is dumber than Saga. That's how that works, okay? So let's just be honest with the fact that the left needs to, again, come to terms with America's racist past in a real electoral way that is going to yield dividends for American descendants of slaves. And we have no more time for punk shit. We will keep on calling out these fake libertarians on the left. Y'all go over there. We ain't got time for y'all. We will continue to dunk and drag y'all, just like the Housewives of Atlanta. Shout out to Nene Leakes, for the passion is great. We love you, Nene. But we gonna keep on dragging these fake progressives, and we will not let up. We gonna be like them, like white on rice and black on coal, like Sister Turner says. So
Wow.
no, we ain't gonna yield. And I'm gonna leave it at that, Tim. But I just want to encourage you again to keep fighting and keep on speaking truth to power, because you, brother, are taking the real risk, and you the one who was one of the very few out here speaking truth to power to this establishment. They are a new establishment. They talk about corporate CNN and all that, but they an establishment too. This online establishment out here making $40,000 a month talking shit. Now that's all I got, Tim. Stay black. Keep it black. Tim
Always, always, my brother. Give it up for my brother, Kendall. Always. Always a strong call. Always on point. Damn, Kendall. I'm going to come in my 352, but I got to say this, man, because it's something that's been on my heart for a minute, man. I got a problem, y'all. Real talk, I have a problem. I have a serious problem, and I gotta address this. And it's something that's been heavy on my heart. I don't think people really understand, or some of my people don't truly understand where I'm coming from. And I think I need to better communicate my point of view. I'm a person that does what I think is right no matter what it costs me. I remember I had I remember a friend of mine worked in this men's clothing store. We were about 20 years old at the time. He was a manager. And God, how can I tell this story? Gosh. He was the manager of the clothing store, and he used to hook people up. He used to hook people up. He used to get hookups. He used to boost clothes out of the clothing store. That's what he did, And I'm not saying it was a good thing, but that's what he did. He did that from time to time. He worked there, but he also boosted clothes out of the clothing store. Bad thing to do. But he did it. We were going to the club one night, and one of our friends, and it was three of us, we were three friends, and one of the friends said, "Hey, man, we're going to the club. I need some pants to wear to the club." And we were pretty close friends. We've known each other for years, and we go hang out. The three of us would go out, and we were young guys who all hung out with each other and known each other, knew each other's parents, and siblings. Like, we were really tight. At least I thought we were. And you say, "I need these pants. We're going to the club. I don't have any pants." I said, "Okay, I got you. That'll be X amount of dollars." And we looked at each other, and I was like, "What?" You charging him for pants? You take pants. You don't. You you take stuff all the time. Why are you charging our friend for something that's not costing you nothing? We could worm and bring him back. I mean, if you want him to do that, but why are you charging him for something that costs you nothing? And I could see if he did that to somebody he didn't know, but we were friends. We were really tight. So anyway, words were exchanged. Words were exchanged, right? And eventually it got to the point like I just didn't understand it. It just did not compute for me. While friends would try to make money off friends when there's nothing coming out of friends' pocket. And he's like, look, man, this is none of your business, Tim. You know? Mind your damn business. So then we got into an argument. And it ended with me chasing him around the store trying to knock him out. Now, luckily, I never caught him. He was faster than me. And we did not come to blows. But I wanted to fight him because, and it wasn't so much, it was the principality. It was the principle of the thing. I just felt like, man, there's things you don't do. And even if it costs me my friendship with you, I'm not going to sit here and allow you to mistreat a friend of ours. Now, if we're not really friends, let's say we're not really friends. Let's just let that be known. Because when you black and you go out to clubs and you hang out together, where we grew up, you never know what's going to happen at a club when you really have to be pretty tight to be hanging out at a go-go club, for instance. And Najee, my man Kendall knows what I'm talking about. Maybe Najee does too. They got more house music and hip-hop there. But in D.C., we got this music called go-go music. And people get beat up at go-go's. And some people get shot in the club. But anyway, the point is this. If we're not friends, let's admit that. And this is the thing, guys, I've been realizing that there's a lot of phony motherfuckers. A lot of phony people out here. And it's like an accepted thing that you could be phony and it'd be okay. That's unacceptable to me. When I do something and you think it's wrong, it's not because I was being phony, I was wrong. I'm not playing a game. I hate that about DC. I detest that about people that work in these government agencies who act one way, then get off work, they're a whole different person. Or people that pretend to be your friend when they're not. Or people that want me, for instance, Tim Black, to risk it all, and they risk nothing. Tim's great for risking everything. And they'll have another guy, another friend, who risks nothing and has some scheme behind it. And that's okay too, to them. What I'm telling you guys is this is a problem I have. Like I need a 4-step or 5-step or 10-step program. But I don't want to change who I am. But I got to learn to accept that other people, they put up with phoniness. Like the people that are going to defend Brianna Joy, or defend Jimmy Dore, or defend Kyle for not standing for anything. I don't understand that. I took a chance calling out the left, guys, because I felt it needed to be done. It was not a business move. If it was a business move, it was one of the worst business moves in the history of business moves. You understand? But I felt it was what needs to be done if we're going to salvage what this is and make it work for black people. And if we're not going to do that, then I don't need to be a part of it. Because it's that important to me. I didn't do a calculation. Oh, if I do this, this is going to happen, and therefore that'll happen. I'll get screen time, or I'll be able to reach this platform, or some other shit. And I just want to be known for the record, that I don't respect that That's not how I'm built. And I also want to be known, I know that is sometimes it's a bonus, but it's a liability for myself. I burn bridges this way. But I don't burn them to burn them. I burn them because sometimes you got to burn a bridge. Sometimes you got to walk away. Sometimes you got to hold people accountable. Sometimes you got to stand up. You got to step up. And you got to step to people that you got to step to. So what's been really a revealing and sometimes painful acceptance. And I hope I'm wrong, but it just seems like there's not a lot of people out here who operate with this same type of ethics. They call us unsophisticated. They say we don't have strategy. They play the game better than us. Well, if you're like me, Johnson, if you're like me, if anything I said here resonates to the person that you see yourself as, I want you to know I love you for it. I want you to know I respect you for it. And don't change just because these other people are willing to compromise. I see it all the time, man. It bothers me. I just go on faith, man. I say, things are going to work out, but I'm going to do the right thing and things are going to work out. Okay. Let's go to the last call in the queue. Well, for right now. Let's see what happens, but hope that makes sense. Okay, 352. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim, Gary, listen, I can't do justice to this in 5 minutes tonight. Tell me you got a lot of phone calls. Put me on the end. And save me for another time. I'm not joking, bro. Put me on the end tonight. If you ain't, then I'll spend time with you. But I can't do this justice in 5 minutes. All right. So put me on the end. I'm listening. You got others right now, or am I the last one already?
You're the last call, girl.
All right. We got time then?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. What's up?
All right. Man, a lot. I mean, you started, first of all, with the drug situation tonight. And then you started with which to me, I think nobody even talks about. Nobody even talks about one of the biggest, the elephant in the room in this country is that this country is making money on drugs, and we're taking it like we're blaming the people. We're blaming the people for doing shit because they're poor, and when you're poor, you freaking have pain. And when you have pain, you reach for pain relief. Okay? So now, I mean, you know how I feel about the drug thing. Like I said, I can't do this all justice. Sometimes I'm trying to talk so fast because I know I only got 5 minutes. And it's hard. You know, it's hard when a lot of times these things just, take a little bit more time than 5 minutes. So you can't do justice sometimes to big issues in 5 minutes. It's like when I hate these presidential debates. It's a joke when they have these presidents that are running for the most powerful, and they do these, you got 90 seconds to answer the most fucking important questions in the world. Are you fucking kidding me? How do you do that in 90? It's not even, if this is so important in our country, why doesn't a presidential debate last 8 hours a night? Oh, well, ain't that important? Are you kidding me? That's a joke. If it's important, stop with this friggin' fast food, these sound clips, and everybody's trying to here, somebody said something here. This is what they said for 30 seconds here, and this is what they said for 60 seconds. I'm like, I don't know what that person, you can't tell me what a person stands for on an important issue in 60 seconds.
Okay.
You can't tell me what a person stands for in 6 days, 6 years. but at least give the person some time to talk about if this is important. I mean, if you're talking about, what car do you want to buy tonight, a Ford or a Chevy, all right, that's a 60-second conversation. All right? You talking about deep freaking topics like you're talking about.
All right, oh, Gary, my brother, Gary. I want to thank you for your phone call, Gary. We've got to move on. I'm sorry. You're right, Gary. We don't have time. But we love you, Gary. Just like pick something to talk about. Gary was on one tonight, man. Give it up for that. I got another call in the queue, Gary. But we appreciate you. Let's go to 252. 252, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, this is Kara from Fayetteville. How y'all doing?
Yes, Kara, what's going on, sister?
I just wanted to say you were spot on. I caught the beginning part of your show, and then I had to handle some business, so I'm not sure if some things were already said. But I just thought it was funny when you talk about legalizing drugs and the amount of pushback that people will put out there. Like, you literally have a former Speaker of the House at the head of marijuana corporations right now. Like, you can't sit here and make it make sense. It just, for me, I think that all drugs across the board should be completely legalized, because if you look at statistics like what they did in Portugal, you'll see that actually the populace and the drug users got better. And not only that, over the course of 20 years, they saw a huge decrease in drug use. Right now, we have a problem with illegal distribution of drugs. And so you can't be surprised when you have situations where people are using deadly ingredients to thin out drugs for the sake of profit. Take the profit motive out of that, and then you don't have problems like this. It's sad that, over the course of the last 10 or 15 years, you've had over 300,000 deaths from opioid-related instances. And I just feel like when it comes to that, nobody is going to be held accountable. Nobody is talking about how maybe a month or so ago, I think the Sackler family was able to negotiate a sweetheart deal where they won't face any more financial or criminal prosecution for their role in the opioid epidemic. And I just find it so sad that, we literally have a congressional body that is so staunchly against legalizing it across the board. They don't want people out of prisons. They want this free prison label. It's all tied into oppression. And I think that those are the conversations that we need to be having if we're going to move forward as a collective group. Progressive voices need to voice this loud and clear, because the health of the people should always be number one. You can't just focus on Medicare for all if you don't talk about the things that really plague the people. That's all I want to say. Thank you for letting me speak.
Always, Kara. Thank you for the phone call, sister. Yeah, it becomes like this thing where you automatically just say these buzzwords, these policies. You rattle them off. Medicare for all, reduce student debt, $15 minimum wage. It's like, then you got to start thinking deeply about these situations. And I've had the benefit of taking some time and taking a step back and realizing $15 an hour ain't shit. We need $25 an hour. And of course, I've heard, it's good to open your mind to other sources, right? So like the Reset Race podcast is part of what I've been, tuning into. And I cracked some of these books I got when I interview people. Like, let me go back and read these fucking books, because I got all this information and I'm not using it. I'm basically becoming an echo chamber of what other people are saying. I don't even agree with this shit. Like, yeah, I want us to erase student debt, and I'm pro-choice, but hold on, let's get these black mothers other options. I mean, if we're going to say we love people and we love children, let's give them options to have money to take care of their kids. Let's get them out of poverty. Let's cut the fucking check. Now, once the check is cut, what will be your pro-choice stance then for that person making that decision? Maybe some of them would have different choices or different decisions. But to just say, let's put, to take that off, to just make it just pro-choice without making it be a means, to live by, so that people have the ability to take care of themselves and financially, because we know how expensive it is to raise children. So instead of repairing the problems that create circumstances where some of us may feel like we're so pressed financially to make decisions, let's rectify that. Cut the check. Same thing with people going in the army, going into services. Armed services, I should say, right? How many people are going to armed services if they had other options? I don't think everybody who goes into armed services did so because they can't wait to go try to shoot someone in a brown country overseas. I think some of them are going because of student debt. So some of these things are interconnected. But when I started looking at it, you know what? Let me get out of the echo chamber, and I'm glad to be out. Now I can look at everything that I stand for and say, why do I stand for it? Does that make sense for my community, who I'm representing? And by the same token, I believe when I stand up for my community, I'm standing up for your community. Because if your community has anywhere near the same struggles, then you can see where I'm coming from. But even if I don't, I got to stand up for them because they're not getting the representation they deserve. That's what's not happening. And it's cut the check, not to help a particular candidate or a particular campaign. It's cut the check for the people. So anyway, Kira, I hear you, sister. I do. I hear what you're saying. And we legalize drugs. We need to legalize drugs because for those reasons that you stated, also the ones I stated earlier. We need to be able to control it so that people don't die from it. I don't think people should die because they have an addiction. I mean, come on, drugs have been around this country for a very long time. We should be able to come up with a way. And we could if we cared. If America cared, we could avoid this death. If America cared, we could avoid this. It's not just about one person passing away. It's about all the others. All the others ODing. All the others suffering. And let's give other opportunities to people then to take that up as a trade. Leaving people very little options. So, that's it, man. That's all I got. I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. Oh, I got a couple other callers. Do I? 248. Hold on, let me go to 248. 248, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, hello. This is Ed from Detroit calling in.
What's up, Ed? What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, real quick. I spoke to, I think it was last week, but on the topic of reparations, I'm in favor of reparations made for communities in urban cities. I am highly against checks being issued out to minority people, actually individual checks. And one of the biggest
minority people. Who the fuck who's minority? Who the fuck is that?
Minority people that are non-Caucasian could be mostly Black Americans.
Mostly Black Americans.
Native Americans and
No. We're taking one group at a time. Ed, you called my show before? You called this show?
Yes, one other time.
What happened when you called up? You said some stupid shit like this last time you called?
Well, I mean, you interrupted me. So,
oh, you did? So you decided to call back with more stupid
shit before I can even finish my point.
What's your point, racist Ed? What's your point? What's your point?
What my point is, I feel reparations should be done as far as doing community center, doing like
what schools did you go to, Ed? What school? What black books have you read about reparations? Name one book.
What's that?
Name one book, one study that you've read by a black author on the subject of reparations. Come on.
What?
Name one study, book, chart, essay that you've read, Mr. Smartass, about reparations by a black person or a black organization. Go. Ed, kill thyself. Or at least get the fuck off my phone line. You are garbage. Then, you don't get to troll my show, call up, insult my audience, and be an asshole with no facts, with your stupid mayonnaise fucking feelings. You don't get to do it. Imagine that. Imagine calling a black man's show. Not even having the balls to say you don't think black people deserve something. I'm talking about minorities. I didn't even know all minorities were trying to get reparations. Well, for what? Some of them not even in the country. From the U.S. government? Okay. Imagine having that lack of courage. You can't even say the word black. And then to speak on an issue that you know nothing about. Who raised these motherfuckers? I'm gonna have to put a jar here and put a T.K. Kirkland quote jar. Because every time I turn around, I'm having to use T.K. Kirkland's tagline. I wish somebody would say how I'm supposed to conduct this show. Now, I conducted it well, motherfucker. If I'm gonna criticize something, I should be knowledgeable in it. Oh, he just called up and pulled stuff out of his ass with no investigation, no data, no facts. I just think that black people don't deserve shit. Now you gotta have a reason, dog. Gotta have something to go along with your trolling. Other than that, it's been a great show tonight. I appreciate everybody who called up. And look, there goes your entertainment for tonight. Say what? I have a who? I don't see it. No, I don't. I have an 862. Just school him. School him what? School him on what? Nah, man, you don't get to call up and say, I don't think people deserve reparations. Who the fuck is this guy? I don't think gay people deserve rights. I'm supposed to walk him back from that? Nah, man, that's not my job, dog. Nah, it's not my job to explain to him why reparations make sense. He called up with his point of view. He won't tell me where he came up with that point of view. Nah, man, I don't have time to educate. Nah. I'm not here to teach him why he should research the shit he's talking about. He called up. I didn't call his house. He called my house. He called my show, telling me what black people don't deserve, and then had no basis for it. Nah, fuck that. Now, if he would have called up and said, hey, Tim, I don't understand what I would have suggested. Hey, look up Dr. William Sandy Darity. from here to equality. Look up Dr. Derek Hamilton. Go to the Race Reset podcast. It's on YouTube. These are your assignments. But he didn't ask a question. He called with a declaration that you don't deserve something because of how he feels. Not even based on what he fucking read or what he studied or what a conclusion he's drawn from data that he's looked at. Nah, man. That's what happens when I guess other people, when they run their shows, they could do it their way. But on this show, you don't get to do that. Sucks, Because I guess, other people could start shows and then they could come up with ways in which to handle trolls. Is this going to be the on-site? Let's go to 586. 586, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. It's Shannon. And I just could not let that end on that note. We can't do that, my friend. All right. First thing, I think it was Ed, 248. Like, quit saying you're from Detroit. You're not. Detroit is 313. 248 is Oakland County, the richest county in Michigan. So quit with that shit. And as far as reparations, like, come on, man. My belief, and I'm a white man, I'm going to tell you that, is every descendant of slave or indigenous person in America deserves reparations. Period. End of story. There is no more. I think there's enough facts out there. You can read, educate yourself, and figure it out. And as far as like a lot of the conversations around race and critical theory and all of these things, my tactic personally is a little ask why. A little ask why. If you want to give me some statistics about like anything, black on black crime or something along those lines, as far as like black people killing themselves or something, why? What is the problem? And if your answer is something about the culture or the something about the black people, where did that culture come from? These people that were stolen from their land and brought here. Where'd their culture come from? And I don't know, like and it's just a continuation of that why. Why this, why that? Like, is it part of the system that we created that has held them down? And we can go through history. I like a history. And it's just a continuation of the plantation, freedom, maybe, except like, unless you're a criminal, and then instantly it's like, if you don't have a job, you're a criminal. Back on the plantation. And onward, voting, make a bunch of laws about making it hard to vote. Redlining, any of that stuff. Like redlining, how did they try to solve redlining? Well, they tried to make it easier for a black person to get a loan. And then what did they do? They first gave them a bunch of shitty loans, and then they made it so that they basically, quite frankly, bet on if you would be able to pay off the loan, if you would be a successful person in this situation. So, and it's on and on and on. And if we don't put a stop to it, if you don't add the black voice and their problems, your problems, quite frankly, how can you call it a people's party? How can you call it a movement? How can you call it anything? You talk about for all, then it has to be for all. And, you know, that's my little bit, my little rant. And usually I don't call in. I just like to listen. I like to hear your point of view and learn. So thank you for that, and keep doing what you do.
Thank you, Shannon, for the phone call, brother. I appreciate it, man. Hey, look, man. Hey, look. It's the last call of the night. We have a good show, and we go, okay. Yeah, I guess I could ask, why do you not think that black people deserve reparations? Please, Ed, explain to us. I could have done that. I didn't fucking feel like it, you know? I really didn't. He's the second time calling up with the same thing. I know I remembered his voice. His voice sounded familiar. Like, ooh, I'm going to call and fuck with the Tim Black Show. Who's about to go off this one I did last time? He even said that. But yeah, anyone who doesn't know, you know, and I guess I got to always assume that brand new people are coming to the show. So that's the purpose of reaching more people, right? You want new people to reach the show. So reparations is not just based on slavery. Not just based on that 400 years or whatever it was. It's also about what happened subsequently after that. It's about the black codes, where black people were forced to go back and work on the same plantations that they were slaves, or face going to jail and being put where? Back on the same plantations they were slaves. It's called convict leasing. Jim Crow in the South, it particularly lasted for at least roughly the next 100 years. A form of third class, fourth class citizenship. And when we start talking about this, Shannon brought up about redlining, forget about it. There are policies on the books for many of these mortgage lenders not to lend to black people. How can you create wealth in a country where you cannot own property? So there are a myriad of reasons why reparations make sense. Also, we're talking about a group of people that live here in the United States. So if you give people in the United States compensation, if we do to address or redress what's happened to those people and those families, because life is not just yourself, you are your parents. You are your children. Going back a few generations, all that matters, man. Going back one generation to the present. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they all were sued. They're not in litigation now. They've already been found guilty or guilty in a court of law and had to pay millions of dollars in restitution for what? Denying black people with the same background as white people loans. That's happening now. So I will admit, I just felt this guy was trying to fuck with me. But I will admit, it is going to require more patience, because everyone hasn't been here since day one, to get this information. But when it feels like I just felt like this guy was trolling, we don't extend ourselves to trolls. There's a emotional component to someone saying you don't deserve anything, knowing that his people didn't go through this shit. And whatever they've been through, they didn't go through it because they were white. Reparations? Because, I don't know, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, where white folks destroyed thriving black towns, destroyed banks, businesses, families, everything. Because they wanted to. And how many went to jail? Or all the black folks who had to flee the South due to terrorism, domestic terrorism. The Great Migration of black people leaving the South and everything that they owned. And went to the North hoping there'd be a better life, and just getting there and finding that there's nothing there for them except a place called the ghetto.
90 seconds.
The ghetto. Tenements in the ghetto. So, yeah. It's hard not to take that personal. But you're right. You got to operate from the concept or from the context of a person not knowing any of that. It's a failure of our public school system.
60 seconds.
It's also a failure of your own initiative if you're not going to listen for that information. You're not going to seek that information out and then draw conclusions and choose to call a show to tell the host of that show that he don't know what he's talking about. I'm going to go to the next call, man. I got a 209 number in the queue. 209, you're live.
Hello.
Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Can you hear me, Tim?
Yeah.
Hi, Tim. It's Susan Gould from Central California.
Oh, okay, Sue. What's going on?
I'm calling. Hey,
10 seconds.
Tonight, I was really surprised to hear you bring up a topic that struck me right in the heart. Okay? The thing about fake friends. Okay? I've been dealing with this now for a couple of years, and I'm going to try not to cry. Okay? Because friends I've known for 40 years, all right, have taken advantage of me because I'm kind to my friends, because I keep them close, and I want to help them if they need help, okay? So this whole thing about the degradation of friendship and loyalty and doing what's right by your friends, and the way that's all disappeared has, like, crushed me, you know? I mean, my circle of friends now is very small. I mean, I was a popular girl. Woo! I had so many friends, but they were all faked, you know? When I needed something, which I never asked for help, but if I needed, I need to pick up a fridge, and I need someone with a truck, nobody. But if they want something, there I am, handing it out to them. I even had a girl who came and moved into my house who I'd known for 15 years, and she came in here and she created the worst havoc ever. I even got a ticket for playing music in my room, okay, because she was trying to take over my house. So these friends, I don't even trust anybody anymore, It's a sad state of affairs, These people, they just want to use me. And I think that's the whole case, And they have an agenda of their own when they're pretending to be your friend. I hate that shit. Hate it. So I'm really surprised to be calling Tim Black's show and talking about something this personal, I usually stick to the politics and the black agenda and all these things that we care about, but this Wolfpack is one of the closest hitting things that I've ever heard Tim talk about.
Susan.
So I just wanted to let everybody know.
It's okay.
Don't try to come fuck with me because I'll fucking beat your ass. I always say that, but I never do.
Oh.
I'll
Well, you are.
come chase you down the street like Tim did to his friend.
Well, we love you, Susan, and I ain't gonna
Thanks,
do
Tim.
you.
I appreciate you taking my call.
You got it, sister. You ain't got to
Yeah,
worry.
it's an emotional thing.
Yes, it is.
You said it was painful. It's very, very painful. So, thanks so much for taking my call, Tim. I
got
love
it.
you. I love the Wolfpack. Stand strong, you guys.
Always give it up for Susan. Give it up for Susan, y'all. That's tough. That's tough, guys. And to think I almost didn't bring that subject up. You know, it's like this saying, like, you know, people are Hollywood and they deal with you so they can get something out of you. And they call to see how you're doing just to see if they're doing better than you. Or they call to see how you're doing, but they don't call to see how you're doing. They call to tell you how good they're doing. I got another call in the queue. I got a 512. 512, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Hey, Tim. It's Sophia from Austin.
What? Sophia, what's up, sister?
I just wanted to comment on a few things. I mean, so first of all, I have no idea where some of these people, they come at you sideways trying to like tell you what to do with your show as if it's their show. And it's like they don't understand how wrong they feel. Like they come off like, I mean, back in the old days, I mean, all they're missing is the calling you boy, basically.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you guys not see that you're treating like people so diminutively? And I mean, and I think some people understand what they're doing, as the last caller. But it's like people don't understand how deep institutional racism is. Like, so something that really pissed me off that I really wanted to talk about is on CNN during the hurricane in Louisiana, they had, it was like Jim Acosta and some weather guy talking, and they were just chatting it up, and some footage flashed on the screen of what ended up being the roof of a hospital with patients in it coming off. And, Jim Acosta was just, babbling over that footage, and my dad and I didn't think anything of it. Later on, we figured out what it was, something that horrific that we watched on TV. I'm pretty sure Jim didn't know, and then it hit me. Once I saw the footage with the audio there, it was a couple of black women. So that means whoever put that video up on the screen and didn't tell Jim the context just thought, oh, it's just some black people. They're just loud, And I just like, that shit happened. And, I found out that I was, mixed just like a couple of years ago, which I want to speak to the whole colorism thing. And yes, there is definitely an advantage. I mean, albeit my dad grew up on the, quote, the wrong side of the track. I feel like people don't understand what that means when people say wrong side of the track. So it's like he actually went through segregation, and like my family, like his mother just kind of, swept, her heritage under the rug as like, it's a survival thing. It's not like they got much better, but shit, people don't understand how hard it was for black folks back in the day. And I'm like, dude, are you people blind? I mean, now they actually talk a little bit of truth about it, but I mean, I guess it's just really annoying, and I'm ranting about it because of how annoying it is. Like this one dude, and we talk about white people online and in podcasts. This one dude was his boss had like flashed his emojis that he used on the screen, and it was like Black Santa and money bags and the horse icon and some white guy that almost looked like him. And I was like, oh my God, that person is so fucking racist. And then a whole bunch of white people jumped on me like I was like imagining things and making a big deal out of nothing. And I was just like, this is the shit Black folks deal with all the time. Like, I mean, is it education? I mean, ever since I was little, I don't know, I just kind of had like an obsession with like racism, like against racism. And I learned to read really early. I was like 3 years old, and I'd go in the library and just sit in, the Black authors section. And I would just read, I would reread some of these books. I was that obsessive. So it's like once I learned that, I saw everything for what it was from that point on. I saw all the underlying racism. I actually called it out. I was like 2.5 years old, and I threw myself down on the floor in Walmart crying because I saw some white lady being racist to some Black people. I was screaming and crying, saying, Mommy, Daddy, why do they hate people just because of their skin color? How can they live with themselves? It was kind of, it was funny. I'll admit, but I'm just like, where is the spirit in kids? Like, I would hope there's more kids like that, but I mean, it's just scary. But thanks for letting me talk, Tim. I'll probably call in with more solid issues that I deal with in my life. Just, I mean, because I don't live around a whole bunch of white people. I didn't grow up with a whole bunch of white people, so I got some stories to tell on Friday. So have a good night, Tim. I appreciate you staying up with us.
Give it up for Sophia, man. Thank you, Sophia. This is our resident Biden encyclopedia. Our Joe Biden historian. But I guess she took a break today. Yeah, we get this. I get this constantly. You should do. Hey, Darky, why don't you do the show the way I want you to do it? Do it like I would do it, Darky. Get that a lot. Yeah, I appreciate the fact that I had some great callers though. I got one. You get one bad call, Shannon tried to rescue it. I don't know, Shannon. That was a good effort though, Shannon. I don't know. You kind of got into wobbly water there, like, oh, please, Shannon, don't help. Stop helping, Shannon. Don't help. Shannon started going down the ship like, oh no. Thank you, JT, Najee, Sam, Kendall, Gary, Kira, Ed, Shannon, Susan, Sophia. Wow. Wow, what a night, guys. What a night. So we could go on and on about these things and have more deep conversations about race and about politics. Like, I planned to go cover, leave it alone. Next time. Give it up for Pam Hall, y'all. Pam Hall. Thank you, Pam. And Will. And William McGregor. That's it, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Real Tim Black, Facebook and Twitter. Tim Black at Night. On Instagram, it's all love. Be safe. Wolfpack. Tune in tomorrow for Pause with Tim Black. Pause with Tim Black tomorrow. Jesus Christ. You guys gonna be there? All right, Johnson.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Let me ask you. When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on Black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get Black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.